All right, everyone. Hello and welcome to another practice exam by exam objective where we're going to give you practice exam questions that test you on the specificities of a particular exam objective. And today, as we can see on the screen, we're going to go ahead and look at exam objective 2.7. So what this is going to ask us to do, this exam objective, is of course, you already know, because I'm sure you have the exam objectives downloaded from the official CompTIA website and you're looking at them right now, right? In case you're not, the objective says 2.7, compare and contrast internet connection types, network types, and their features. So already, what that tells us about what we're going to have to do for the exam is it tells us we're going to have to be able to tell the difference between different types of internet connection, tell the difference between different network types, talk about some of the different features that they might have, okay? We want to try to cover those three bases to make sure we're ready for the exam. So more specifically, the internet connection types over here to the left, satellite, fiber, cable, DSL, cellular, and wireless internet service provider. And then the network types, sorry, that was the connection types. The network types, we have local area network, wide area network, personal area network, metropolitan area network, storage area network, and wireless local area network. Before we get into it, I'm hoping we're kind of at a point where we can just look at these and briefly talk about, with our mouths, I don't know what else you talk with, briefly talk about what each of these are. So what are these? Without looking at any kind of multiple choice options, we should be able to roughly explain them. But that aside, let's get straight to the first question. Question number 1 reads, you live in a rural area and your only option for internet access is a service that uses large dishes to transmit signals wirelessly through the use of orbiting crafts. What type of internet connection are you most likely using? A, fiber optic, B, cable, C, DSL, D, satellite, or E, cellular? I'll be giving you your answer in 3, 2, 1. The answer is satellite. There was a huge giveaway in the question there, right? Orbiting crafts. Hard to miss. Pretty easy question, I'm not going to lie. That being said, the purpose of these questions aren't necessarily to quiz you and make sure you're ready. It's for the purpose of learning, right? We're doing this to find out where our gaps are and try to fill those gaps in. So let's take a quick look at satellite internet connections. There's some information here off to the left. I'm not going to read that out to you. You can stop it and read that if you want to. But essentially, satellite internet connections, right? You've got satellites up there. You've got a ground station and you've got you. So you are connecting to the satellite and the satellite is sending you that data. Think about when you might want to use this. It's going to be when you're in a location where you don't have traditional infrastructure. So for example, really rural areas that are limited in their infrastructure is where you might use this. On a boat, right? This is where you might use that as well. You cannot connect a cable to a boat. You're going to have to use satellite connection. Now, as we can see here with the information to the left, you've got some weather dependence there. So if it's raining, bad luck, you're probably not going to have the greatest internet connection. So it's a good option if it's your only option, but it's probably not going to be your go-to if you have other options that, such as those that come with your standard infrastructure, which we'll look at now. So as for some of the other options there, let's take a look at what they are and what they mean. We had fiber optic. So fiber optic, really fast. We're sending data through light. This is very expensive. It travels a very far distance. Okay, so if you need to get data over a vast distance, fiber optic is going to be a great option for you. It's also really expensive. I think I said that already, but really expensive, goes over a really long distance. Other than that, the information here, pause to read if you need to, but it's essentially going to be sending data over light, not through electrical signals, but through light. It's going to go for a long distance and it's going to go really fast. So that's a lot of pros, right? It's fast and it can go for long distances. With those two pros comes the con of it's quite expensive, okay? So if you see that an internet connection is done through light, through cables that transmit through light, then you know you're probably looking at fiber optic. Another option there was DSL. So guys, DSL, basically you're connecting to the internet through previously existing phone lines. If the question says, you know, this person is connecting through phone lines, it's DSL. You immediately know that. That's kind of one of the main things I want you to take away from that. Other than that, there's some information here you can pause to take a look at if you really want to. Have a look at the differences in speed, some speed considerations there, right? But DSL is over previously existing phone lines. On to the next option. That is cellular connection. So you use this whenever you're using your phone for data, right? If you hotspot your phone and connect to it through your laptop is now using cellular data. If you're on the move, right? Super convenient option. You don't have to connect to a wire. You don't have to find someone who has Wi-Fi. You just activate your cellular data and you've got connection. Some cons, right? You've got the data usage caps. It's not really a permanent option because it can get quite expensive, which is why we usually opt for some of the more traditional options. If we have a home or a business, you're not going to be running a home office through cellular internet because it's just not feasible. You'd go over your data caps so quickly, and you're probably going to want a more standard regular option such as any of the others in these exam objective. Okay, on the move, great. Permanent, probably not so much, right? Let's take a look at the next question. The question reads, your apartment building offers a high-speed internet plan that utilizes existing coaxial cables originally installed for cable TV. What type of internet connection are you most likely using? A, WISP, B, cable, C, DSL, D, satellite, or E, cellular? Pause the video if you need some time to answer that. I encourage you to pause and really think about it. I'll be giving you your answer in 3, 2, 1, now. The answer is cable, and there were some giveaways here, okay? We'll go through what cable means, and then we'll go back to the question and see if we can locate those giveaways that would have told us that was the answer. So, cable leverages existing coaxial cables, okay? So, if you have a previously existing television cable, and you're using that television cable or coaxial cable to access the internet, you already know immediately that's going to be cable internet, okay? If the question says anything in your exam, says anything about getting internet through television cables, it is cable. Through coaxial cables, it is cable, all right? So that's going to be the main thing you need to know about that, okay? Other than that, pause the information here, pause the video if you want to read the information here off to the left, but television cables, coaxial cables means it is a cable internet connection. Drill that into your head. Okay. What gave that away in the question? It says, your apartment building offers a high-speed internet plan that utilizes existing coaxial cables. Right there, boom, that's the one. It's cable. That should immediately tell us. That's all we need to know. Okay? So, some other options that we haven't talked about yet. WISP. So, a wireless internet, oh, I almost dropped my coffee. Wireless internet service provider. So, delivers internet access through wireless signals instead of traditional cables or phone lines. So guys, there's an image here which I think depicts it quite well. I just Googled WISP and this is one of the first images that came up. It's a great depiction of what a WISP is. So essentially, you can see that you've got this point in the middle, and this point is giving wireless internet connections to 3 separate locations. Okay, so you might see this in a rural setting where you don't really have cable infrastructure, but instead you might have a WISP. So think about how we can extrapolate this from something we already understand. We already understand that in our house we have a wireless router, which acts as an access point as well, because the house isn't big enough to need individual access points generally. So you've got a wireless router, and that is transmitting wireless internet connection to devices within your local area network, to devices within your house. Your computer, your phone are all attaching to that. It's basically that. A WISP is basically that, but just on a bigger scale. So if instead of a router in a house giving wireless internet connection to items within that particular house, it would be a station giving wireless internet access to multiple sites, multiple individual sites over a larger geographic area. Okay, so that would be a WISP. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and look at the different types of networks now with this question. So let's get straight into it. The question reads, a network connects all the computers and printers in a small office building, allowing them to share files and resources. What type of network is this most likely an example of? A, local area network, B, wide area network, C, personal area network, or D, metropolitan area network, or E, storage area network. Pause the video, think about it if you need to. I encourage you to think about it if that's something you need to do. I'm going to be giving you your answer in 3, 2, 1. Local area network is the answer, right? So let's take a look at what that means, why that is. So in a local area network, basically you've got an isolated location such as a house or an office, and a local area network is the network within that particular location. So your house is a local area network. It is a network that is local only to your house. If you go to your neighbor's house and connect to their Wi-Fi, you'll be on a completely different local area network. So you can kind of see in the photo here, you've got these kind of digital wires connecting all of these devices, and this is like a visual representation of a local area network. So these devices are all connected within that room to the same network. But maybe if you went to the building next door and connected to theirs, again, you'd be on a different local area network. So just think it's a network that is local to one particular building, okay? One particular building. So your house is a local area network, and then you go next door, connect to your neighbors, that's a different local area network. Very specific, confined location. So another option that we had to look at there that wasn't the answer was a personal area network. So generally, a personal area network is any time you connect through Bluetooth from one device to another device. It's very short range connection. So if you're connecting to your car with Bluetooth, if you're connecting to Bluetooth headphones, if you're connecting one device to another over very short ranges, it's a personal area network. And a way I like to remember this is, my personal space. Personal area network is very, very close ranges, close distances. Give me my personal space, man. I need my personal space. I'm just a mobile phone. I'm just trying to do my thing. Don't come into my personal space. But if I allow you into my personal space, like, hey, okay, Bluetooth headphones, you seem pretty cool. You can come into my personal space. Now we have a personal area network. So I kind of give these identities to mobile phones, Bluetooth headphones, Bluetooth speakers. They're very introverted, kind of like me. I'm very introverted. And I like to keep my personal network very small. So in the same way, these phones and these headphones like to keep their personal network small. So they only like to connect to, one thing at a time, generally speaking. So personal area network is they're very shy. They only like to have very quiet conversations with a couple of friends, with a couple of buddies. So you connect one device to another with Bluetooth, that's a personal area network. All right. So keep that in mind. Hopefully that little tip helped you out there a little bit. That being said, let's take a look at the next one, the metropolitan area network. So this is essentially a connection of multiple different sites over a large geographical area, and they're all connected on the same network. So let's say you have a business, and that business hypothetically might be called journeytocyber.com, where you can get plenty of cybersecurity learning resources, right? Hypothetically. So maybe they have a large office building, and then they have a data center over here, and then they have a separate office building. And they don't want to have to go through the internet. They want to connect directly to one another. I almost spilled my coffee again. I'm just so excited to talk about metropolitan area network. So what they would do is they would set up their own MAN, their own metropolitan area network, so that they can guarantee very fast network times, very fast data transfer between their private business sites. Okay, so you're basically connecting multiple LANs within a metropolitan area in order to get fast speeds, enable resource sharing, that kind of thing. Right? So think about a business with multiple sites, or a university with multiple sites across a large geographical area, wanting to connect it via a private network that's only accessible for them. All right. So let's take a look at the next one. I think this is the final one here before we move on to the next question. A storage area network. So a specialized high-performance network designed for connecting storage devices to servers. So, if we go back to that idea of having a business, maybe you have a business with a building, and then that building has a network that connects directly to a form of storage, right? That would be a storage area network. The only purpose for that network is for storage. So if it's a network related to connecting someone or a business or an entity to a storage system, you're looking at a storage area network. So it just, again, specialized high-performance network designed for connecting storage devices to servers, offers faster data transfer speeds and higher reliability compared to traditional storage solutions. It's used in data centers and environments requiring high-speed access to large storage pools, and focuses on providing centralized storage for mission-critical applications. So just think, simple terms, you're going into the exam, you don't want to try to memorize all this. Just think it's a network with the purpose of accessing a form of storage. You're looking at a storage area network. Break it down into that simple concept, and you should be fine. Now, the next one is wireless local area network. This is another one that we looked at that wasn't the correct answer. So guys, this is the exact same thing as a local area network, but it's just a wireless version. So most of us are going to have wireless local area networks in our homes because we don't live in the Stone Age anymore. We probably have wireless internet in our house. So just again, that idea of internet within a localized area, but instead it is wireless. It is not connected through wires. That is a wireless local area network. So it's just a LAN, but without the wires. Now, a wide area network, another one of the options that we looked at. I think this is the last one. I hope so, because I'm sure I'm getting tired of speaking. You're probably getting sick of my voice. A wide area network is a large geographical scope. So if we take a look at this image, which again, I just found on Google, you've got multiple different local area networks. So these might be, just for example's sake, we'll say they're all someone's houses, right? They're all different houses. And then the wide area network connects these local area networks together. So in simple terms, guys, the internet is essentially one big wide area network. In order to access the internet, I have to go from my house, which is a local area network, through the wide area network in order to connect to the server for google.com, for example, right? And I have to go through the wide area network in order to do that. So in simple terms, and for your exam, just think of a wide area network as a network that connects local area networks together, and /or a network that spans across a very large geographical area. Okay, those are the two kind of key concepts to help remember wide area network. So guys, if you've enjoyed this segment on exam objective 2.7, don't be afraid to go over to journeytocyber.com and have a look at some of the learning resources that are available over there. We have learning guides, we have practice exams, we have performance-based question simulations. That's a new one. I'm really excited about that. And if you did want to make sure you've got the best possible chance that you can have for your A+ 1101 examination, you can use this code, I want success now, which I'm sure you can relate to. I know I did when I took my A+. In order to get, that'll get you 10% off of the Ultimate Success Bundle, which will give you practice exams, a learning guide, and performance-based question simulation, right? So take that, give that a look if you want to. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video, guys. I'll see you there. Oh, right, the code's only available until the, I think it was the 25th of May. Sorry, April, 25th of April. So from the posting of this video, you'll have 5 days. So if you want it, do it now. All right, bye, guys.